Hello, I'm Martin Fencka and welcome to the first episode of another of my Civilization 5 Vox Populi series. So as usual, because this is the first episode, it's going to be more like an introduction. We'll go over the mods that I'm going to be using, then we'll check the settings, and as usual, I'll show you 3 different starting locations, and you'll have some time to decide which of these locations we're going to be using for this series. This time you will have a bit more time than usual because tomorrow is my day off, so you will have almost 2 days until like Sunday afternoon to decide which of the starting set or starting locations we're gonna be using, and also as usual with the release of the next episode, so episode 2, I will make all 3 of these starting locations available to you if you want to try them or if you want to play with me, that you have the same map. Okay, now where do we start? Let's start with the mods. I decided to stick to the same version of Vox Populi as we're using for the previous series. There are 2 reasons. One reason is that the current version from the 17th of April seems to be quite buggy, so I think I want to give it some time and wait until the most of the bugs are fixed, and then we can maybe switch. And there is one more reason. I was told that this version that I'm going to be using, it should be the version from the 15th of March. I'll leave a link in the description, of course, where you can download the correct version if you want to play with me. So I think it's the one from the 15th of March. That was the date this one was released. It's supposed to be extremely difficult to win non-domination victory in this version. So I want to try it. I want to see how difficult it is. It was definitely challenging going for the domination victory last time. Even though we managed to get it quite early, it still was a challenge. The AI, some of them were doing a really good job. So I want to see how well they can do when we won't be pressuring them all the time with our military, when they have some more room to grow and develop, how challenging the game is really going to be. This time we're going to be using the 3rd and 4th unique component again. It's going to be the latest version, so I hope these 2 versions are going to work together. But I did a little bit of testing. I had no issues. So hopefully it will be fine. And again, I will leave a link in the description for both mods so you can download the correct versions, and the game is gonna work for you if you decide to play with me. So that's the mods, and now we can check the settings. So we're gonna be playing as the Netherlands. Let's check advanced settings. It's gonna be on a standard size, a large islands map. I wanted to do a series this time with some more water on the map. I think we did Pangea maps twice in a row. So let's do something with more sea tiles. As I said, standard size with the standard numbers for this map size: 16 city-states, 8 civs, random. What else? Deity, epic game pace. There is some of you asking if I could change the pace of the game, speed things up. Nope, it's not because I'm afraid of going faster. I would probably lose if I increase the pace of the game. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'd lose because the game changes quite a bit. But it's not the reason why I don't want to switch the pace of the game. I just don't like playing the game when it's even faster than epic. I personally prefer playing on marathon. I really like these long, dragged out games. Problem with that is they're not the best for recording. I understand that marathon just takes way too long, and you have this stage of the game and you're just hitting end turn for 60 turns, and you are waiting for some buildings to be built. Not the most entertaining content, but I also don't want to go to a pace when the game would become annoying for me and not fun. So epic is in the middle, where I think it's entertaining enough to watch most of the time, and it's still fun for me, so I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Just an explanation why I'm still refusing to change the pace of the game. Then we have, what else? Ancient Era. I decided to go random on all these settings to add a little bit of surprise to the map. Not much, but sometimes when you get, I don't know, like no rainfall and hot temperature on a young world, you can have like a surprisingly challenging map. So we'll see what the game decided to give us. Resources standard. And then I disabled the event system. I guess most of you will be glad that I did. We tried it last time. It's not as bad as it used to be, with the constant like floods and pestilence or the kind of stuff. But it's still happening too often. I would probably make it significantly less common, but more impactful. And that's what I would do, like, with all the events. Don't give me so many of them. Just make them... when you make them more impactful, then it would feel like RNG can just screw you over when you get the wrong event in the wrong time. I don't know. I guess if you like it, just use it. If you don't use it. It's as it is. It adds something to the game that most people, it seems, don't like. I don't know how to like improve the event system to make it more appealing for more people. But well, doesn't really matter. There's always the option to turn it off, which we did. So no events, no research agreements, no ancient ruins. What else is there? Quick combat, quick movement, transparent diplomacy, no tech trading, no tech brokering. The usual settings. Raging barbarians. Did I forget anything? I hope not. But it's the usual stuff, the usual settings that I'm using for most of my series. Okay, so these are the settings. And now we can check the starting locations. So the first one, and maybe before we check the map, we can go through the Dutch unique ability and buildings, units, everything. So first, our unique ability, Dutch East India Company. +3 culture and gold for each different luxury resource you import or export for or to other civilizations and city-states, scaling with era. So the more we are trading, the more we are getting from it. So we'll just trade like crazy. This is gonna be a game about gold, mostly about gold, and then culture comes with it. Can import duplicate resources, and major civilization imports count towards monopolies. So we are getting some small bonuses from luxuries that we get from city-states, but it's more important to get resources from major civs because we can get monopolies that way. We'll try to do that. I'm not sure if I'll be able to like maintain good relations with civs on Deity. I should be able to do it for some time, but I have a feeling in the late game our plan is just gonna like fall apart. So we need to get enough ahead before we get to the late game, so that as we start losing these imports, because civs are gonna be like hostile to, or will be becoming hostile towards us, we'll be losing the bonuses from imported and exported. So we have to be ahead so that we can still win the game. It's very hard for me to say how it's gonna look like in the late game. And I don't even have like a good plan for this game. I never played with Netherlands. I did a little bit of testing, but I never managed to make it work properly, the unique ability. I think it has potential. I just never figured out how to get the maximum out of it. So it's hard for me to say what I'll be able to get out of it this time. So yeah, it has potential. We'll see what we can do with it. It would be great if you could make it work early. You can snowball so hard with it if you get enough luxuries, but we'll see. Then the next one, I think I'll check Polder as our unique tile improvement that we get with guilds. So it takes a while to get to it. Can be built on marshes or floodplains, which I think might not be correct. In the description, it says a polder can be built on tiles with access to fresh water, as well as marshes. And the floodplain is one of the tiles that have access to fresh water. But, for example, tiles around oases have access to fresh water. Tiles around lakes have access to fresh water. So I hope that the description is correct and we'll be able to build the polders around rivers. Even if there are no floodplains, we'll be able to build polders around lakes. And it's not just limited to floodplains, because, well, the starting locations that I decided to save don't have marshes and don't have floodplains, so it would just lose access to borders basically. But I think it's gonna work as the description says, just need access to fresh water. The next one, let's check our unique building. That's a Vox, which is a replacement of a bank. It's available earlier than a bank. It's available with civil service, so 1 tech earlier. It requires market, reduces enemy spy stealing rate by 20%, which is nice. We'll probably have a lot of money, so I don't want spies to steal it from us. -1 unhappiness from poverty. That's the same as banks. When you purchase buildings, you get science, and then caravanseries and custom houses in the city gain +3 gold. I think it gives a little bit more than bank. I think bank gives +2. I'm not sure about that. +1 gold, culture and production in the city for every global monopoly on empire. So another reason why we want to import as much as possible from major saves, as it makes our unique building much stronger. And it's in every city, right? Every city that builds this gets the bonus from all the monopolies. So we can get a pretty significant boost. It's culture, gold, production. It's all about gold and culture. So yeah, you have to make it work. It's just another addition to basically our unique ability. Works the same way. Then we have 2 units. I guess the Sea Bagger is going to be a bit more impactful than our land unit. So let's check this one. First, replaces Corvette, requires astronomy, which means it comes a bit earlier. Again, I think actually probably 2 techs earlier. Naval unit that specializes in attacking coastal cities and capturing enemy ships. Capturing enemy ships could be interesting. Available earlier than Corvette, which it replaces only. The Dutch can build it. It replaces Corvette. So we could try to capture some frigates maybe. And I think this is going to be a game about very strong navy. I don't want to get domination victory in the end, but it doesn't mean there won't be wars at all. There probably will be some naval battles. If we get a neighbor on our starting island, I will get rid of the neighbor. I want to have an island for myself. So there could be also some early wars. Which wouldn't be ideal, as it would give us a negative modifier right from the start, so it would make our trading a bit more difficult. But as I said, I want to have our own island where I can do whatever I want, like fortified, and then focus on trading as much as possible. And then our last unit, well, how do I pronounce this one? I know how the Dutch pronounce this one. I just can't do it. I actually played World of Warcraft in Dutch Guild for quite a while, so I know how their language sounds. I just can't pronounce it. It's something like Gerdendag. It's probably the last time that I tried to pronounce it. And I think, doesn't this actually mean good day in Dutch? I don't know why it would call a unit that way, but I'm pretty sure it means good day. Well, whatever. It is a replacement for pikemen. Cheap, versatile, defensive unit with supporting abilities. Only Dutch may build it, provides a combat boost to all units adjacent to it, and has increased combat strength if garrisoned in a city. Problem is, it's a melee unit, so especially on like island map, we want to have ranged garrisons. I don't think we're gonna be building these. I'll check the promotions if formation, and then it has like 2 unique promotions. You know what? Let's just jump into the game and we'll check Civilpedia what exactly these unique promotions mean. But I don't think we're gonna be using this unit at all. William. And we want to check here. So this is formation. This is 1. 10% combat strength to adjacent friendly land units. All land units, not just melee units. So in theory, you can have a city with a range unit inside it. And then you can have 2 of these guys sitting like next to the city, giving the combat strength to the garrison that's then gonna be like hitting ships. But it's probably still better to just have range units around the city that all can attack. So I can't really see how we would use this unit on this map. It could be strong when you go for some reason domination with Netherlands, then they could be decent with the bonus to other units. 33% combat strength if within 2 tiles of a friendly city. It's a lot. 33 is a lot. So yeah, it is a defensive unit. I guess non-domination game on Pangaea, then they would be great. Just sit on the border around cities, make sure nothing ever gets to those cities. But yeah, it's just not the unit for this game, I think. Let's check how early they actually come into the game. Here. It's probably too late, even if we are forced to fight on our island. I think I want to control the island by the time we get steel. Also, steel is probably not gonna be the attack that we're gonna be rushing. Yeah, most likely not a unit that we're gonna be using. Okay, so let's check the starting locations finally. This is the first one, probably the strongest one. When I saw it, I just had to take it. Our monopoly is gonna be cinnamon for even more culture. We are next to the lake. That's what I wanted to have on every start. Access to fresh water for polders. I just hope, as I said, that they work with any fresh water. It's not just flood plains, which would require specifically a river in the desert. Just I think too specific. Okay, so that's what else is here? Yeah, we would have a hill start next to a 2-tile lake. I would have access to sea, of course. 1, 2. The hill is too far for most of the wonders. You need to be within 2 tiles, so that's not gonna work. I would settle on spot, and we can check the tiles around it. There is a city-state, maritime friendly, not bad. In range pretty close for some early missions perhaps. And we can check on the other side, probably here, because this is a hill. This will give us decent vision. So there is another cinnamon out of range though. We could maybe settle no, we can't settle a city here. Well, we'll have to explore on this side. Definitely want to control all the luxuries there are on our island. So that's the first one. As I said, probably the strongest start. as usual, when you have jungles with like, it's just great. Is there anything else? No, I don't think so. Okay, next one. Number 2. Oh, and once again, when you are deciding where we're gonna play, don't decide based on what's the strongest start, but what you think would be the most entertaining start for the series. So it's a bit different compared to what you'd most likely, or it can be different from what you would most likely pick if you were playing like yourself, just not on camera, where you want to have a pretty good start on camera. You want to have some challenge on top of just fun. So I guess fun and challenge, so it could change your decisions. Here, as you can see, a bit more challenging. We can move. Actually, I had to move first before I decided to keep this start, because moving revealed this lake. So we have 2 lakes, which give us quite a few tiles with access to fresh water. So we could have hopefully polders around these lakes, and there is a chance that we'll have some more lakes maybe in this direction. Monopoly would be silver. So again, culture. That's not intentional. I wasn't intentionally trying to find luxuries that would give me extra culture. It just happened that on both these starts, I got culture luxury. So silver. We have 2 weed, which is decent. Not much gold early though, and we're gonna need a very early worker here to improve the weed. In the north, hopefully there'll be some strategic resources. It's just tundra, so other than that, we probably won't get much. On the other hand, we'll be relying on food from sea tiles, so we don't need that much food from land tiles. We want production from them, and tundra, as you can see, can give the same amount of production as anything else. So it's not the end of the world that there is tundra, although it also seems that there might just be snow further to the north, which would be a problem. But yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, and the warrior doesn't really have anywhere to go where it would show us something new. So this is the second starting location, and then we have the third one. Come on. There we go. So, very different. This time we are around deserts. This is the only that actually has a floodplain. This is also fresh water. Oh, and did I forget about one part about polders? I think there's one more thing. Polder, singular. They give bonuses to adjacent villages and towns. It's not much, it's just +1 gold, but it's there. So we want to take that into consideration when building roads. How exactly we're gonna build it, that everything is like lined up properly. Provides additional yields once later attacks are researched. I'm not sure if it changes just the yield of the polder or if it also affects the bonus to the villages and towns. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't forget something. Okay, so here, there really isn't much around here, early at least, but later we have quite a lot of room to work with. We'll probably get some cattle, horses on all the grasslands. There is this river on an island map. It's quite a long one, so we can definitely work with that. This is, as I said, fresh water as well that we can hopefully use. Monopoly would be jade here for extra length of golden ages, which is, I guess, also useful for non-domination games. And let's check. There's another lake, so more fresh water. The Pathfinder, I guess, can check it on this side, so the island would end here. And I think I would settle on the hill for the bonus bonus production early. I'm gonna lose the adjacency to a river, but I really want to have the production early and also the increased city strength. It's gonna be a bit more exposed though here. 3 tiles compared to just 1 tile next to the city. 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2. I would cover all these tiles. It's actually tempting to stay here because that would give me the floodplain that otherwise would be out of range. But I guess we'll have a city somewhere around here. So the floodplain is gonna be covered from this side. We're gonna have a city somewhere up here probably. No, I think I would settle here to get the early production. It's going to be quite important. On this tile, it's going to be super important to get early worker to get the farms as soon as possible. We can later rework all the farms next to the river to polders. But early we want to get our first farm triangle so that we can grow. Production won't be a problem. We'll get these mines up and running, and that will be our production and gold secured. It's just gonna take a while to have this start up and running. The oasis is quite far, so I think this one is the most challenging one with a pretty good potential for later. It's just early game could be a pain in the ass. We'll have to take advantage of the coral. That +2 gold from the coral could be huge. And maybe even try to get to that oasis to get another +2 gold. Because with +4 gold and let's say 1 export, we could avoid the early game problems by just buying everything that we needed. Okay, well, you see the starting locations. I think I went through everything that's relevant, so we can end this episode here. As usual, I hope that you liked it. I hope that you're gonna join me for this series, and until the next episode, have a good time. Bye bye.